sound.
Somebody said something to me. I don't know who.
You got 5 people. 5 people. Well, 6 people saying no sound.
Put 1 in the chat if they can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Tell them put a 1.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear. Oh, I got 2 texts saying no sound. If you can see me, put a 1 in the chat. If
they can see you.
They can see you. They can hear you.
Can you hear me? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Did they put a 1?
There it is. Yolanda Smith said, yeah, there it is.
Okay, we got, thank you. Well, I want to say, huh?
Start over.
Oh, we're going to start over. I want to say thank you to all of you that let us know there was no sound. Mia been here. No, I just kidding. Not Mia, boy, but I got something worse than Mia. That's that ringleader, and his cousin was here. I'm telling you, they came in here and just disconnect everything. I didn't worry about it because I have just that much confidence in Dice. Dice came in and said, who, the devil been in here? I said, it's almost some better than the devil, them little bad kids of mine. But anyway, I wanted, again, the name of our show is I think all the people. Not all the people is the name of the show. Meaning that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can never fool all the people all the time. And what I say about that is that, and the reason why I put it like that is that we're going to have to start, you know, we're kind of like forgiving. We do things and sometimes our vote is taken for granted, and we got to get away from that. Our vote is taken for granted, and the politicians seem to think that they can fool us all the time, and we're just going to accept things. And we're not. I'm not on a national level now. I'm on a local level. It's kind of hot in here. Lo, talk to the people. How you doing, Lo?
Oh, I'm doing okay. There was a shooting a few hours ago down there near the carousel, not knowing what actually happened. But I'm told someone was shot in the head and was taken to Rush Hospital. What's up with you, Dice? I'm trying to get this dirt up out my nail. As y'all know, on last week, I left the podcast with the podcast engineer Dice in tears. I had him in tears on last week.
Oh, really?
He gonna find some type of way to get his lick back. And some people hit me up, said, Lo, you was real rude to that guy. I'm like, rude? Said, you were real. They said I was rude to you, Dice.
Really? Okay.
It was all in my on Facebook, in my inbox. You were so rude, Lo. I'm like, how was I rude? You talked to him so ugly. I'm like, that's the way I talk. Come on now, y'all.
Well, I can say this. I didn't take it that way, but I appreciate y'all looking out for me. I didn't take it that way. I thought we had fun, and I hope people kind of checked into what I put out there. You know?
Lolo, you're so rude. They're going to stop you from coming on the show. You're so rude. I'm like, wow.
We got some thick skin over here.
I don't know what Mr. Eddie Hope done ran off to. I don't know what the topic is, what we going to talk about.
He's supposed to turn on some air.
He's supposed to be cutting on some air, but I tell y'all this right here, I don't know if I should go on and talk about this, or should you play a song until he get back?
No, because the minute I play it, he'll come.
Because I don't want to jump over the numbers. I don't know how he got things lined up. Glad he just walked back in.
It's hot. It's hot.
You hot? I ain't hot. Anybody should be hot. It's me, all the extra layers of fat.
I know you just talked about the young man that was shot in the head in the carousel. Mm-hmm. Did you talk about the person that got shot in Davis Court on Sunday?
I don't know who that was that got shot.
Yeah, we don't know, but I actually saw that, and you put that on your Facebook page. And somebody got shot in Davis Court. It just shows that crime around here is rampant, while Chris Reed is going around giving out toys and things like that as if everything's okay. Let's talk about, what is his name, Willie Ruffin?
Willie Ruffin.
Yeah, tell the people what happened with him.
On Wednesday, well, let me go back to June. There was a live video on Facebook of this guy that the police department is supposed to have been looking for. And this guy went live. Now, mind you all, when MPD are looking for someone for a substantial amount of time, they were known to put their picture up on WTOK, letting the public know this person is wanted. We didn't see that. So back in June, this guy was live at this guy's house. And from my understanding, a police officer called this guy and told the guy, you want it, and the popo on the way to your friend guy's house. So when the popo get there, the person they looking for wasn't there. He was long gone. This was back in June. So this past Wednesday, they went to the guy house, the U.S. Marshal and the police department. Chris Reed wanted to try to look good, bring the marshal into this, and went to this guy's house and arrested him, his brother, and his girlfriend, taking a firearm, 3 firearms, medicine, money, extra clipping to go to the gun. What else did they take? They took so much stuff, the bullets. Then send the picture over to WTOK, Twin State News, like they made this big bus taking illegal guns off the street. When they taking this stuff off this man's house, didn't even have a warrant. What they didn't tell WTOK and Twin State News is they had to get that young man back at 3 firearm, Gray. Had to give him his gun back, his money back, the extra clipping back, the bullet back, and the pills back.
Yeah, and they gave him all this stuff back. And folks, I can just tell you this, is that the guy's going to come here and he's going to let you all know what's going on. He would have came today, but when he was there, what happened to him, Lo? A spot or something?
Something bit him on the leg when they kept him locked up in jail for, they let him out that Thursday. He was able to bum out that Thursday. Mind you now, charged him with hindering prosecution. And how can you explain to the people what is hindering prosecution? I know what it is, but you can explain it more better.
Hindering prosecution is when you interfere with the prosecution of an individual, but you got to be doing something and knowingly doing it, and they have to know that you knowingly did that, such as you hiding your brother, and you know there's a warrant for your brother's arrest. But now, if I have a warrant for my arrest and I go into the super stop and I stay in there, and in other words, they're not liable for anywhere I go. If I go to Dice's house, your house, or any of you out there, they're not liable. You're not liable. Only you become liable to accessory or hindering prosecution if you know that an individual is wanted by the law. But if you don't know, and there's no way they can say that this guy, and he did not know, Lo. He didn't know. He didn't know at all. And so this is, again, what this administration does. There are so many things with this administration that are wrong. With this police department, you have a person that's chief of police that actually should not be chief of police. And I want to show you guys a picture of Devon Hardy. I want you to go to our email, Dice, and I want you to pull that picture up, folks. I want you guys to see. Now, Devon Hardy is dead now. Lo, tell the people what happened to Devon Hardy.
Well,
we really don't know because they kind of like keeping it hid. Am I right or wrong?
Keeping it hid, but
and they kept the body how long at the crime lab? Wow.
Ooh.
About 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks. About two and a half, 3 weeks.
Yeah, about 2.5, 3 weeks. They did peeping, and I can tell you that my daughter was only kept like about 2 or 3 days, and they let her go. But they kept this guy body there. Dice, have you got that picture up yet? Okay, and I want you guys to see how bad this young man was beaten by the Meridian Police Department. I mean, white officers again. And the problem with this is, had they held Alex Lee and Matthew Spears, and Chris Reed, had they held them accountable for this, Chris Reed would not be the chief of police. And these other guys that have felony charges, they have federal charges on them, and they should, because it's abuse of authority. You know what's really disturbs me? If anytime anyone, I don't care who it is, whether it's a white person or a black person, anytime a person's rights are being violated, all of our rights are being violated. If you have a police officer that would take anybody and beat them really, really bad, then folks, you have a police officer that should not have a uniform on. Dice, have you pulled that picture up yet? Okay, and let me know, Dice, when the people see that picture. I mean, he was beat bad, folks.
That picture right there stems from...
have you showed the Dice?
You showed... It was over a month, I think about 2 months ago, when he was accused of robbing the super stop in another store. And they got him out this apartment, in the Village apartment. That's the aftermath, what y'all seeing on the screen, how they beat him up.
I mean, he was beat really, really, really bad. I mean, he was beat, folks. Look at that. This is a disgrace when you see that somebody's beaten like that. And look at his face, folks. I know that you're looking at it now, and it's something really, really wrong with that. I want you guys to see that. This is what white officers did to this young man. Now, understand, people, it could have been anybody. I don't care if the officers had been black. You have officers that should be fired. It wasn't no black officer doing this, and I can tell you that the people at the village apartment just stood around. Now, this young man ended up escaping from there. They took him to Kemper County. They took him to the hospital because he had to have stitches and other treatment, broken bones, broken neck. But let me tell my story. I promise they hit him in the face with the baton club, the butt of a pistol, and I'm telling it like I want to tell it. Now, that might not be true, folks.
That could be true. Look how bad that face is.
That's exactly what I was just getting ready to say. I didn't see that, but folks, look at his face. Dice, put that picture up again. Because this is horrible. This is really, really, really bad. No one should be beat like that. This picture going to come back and haunt you, Perseverance, because you have a rogue police department. You're not being held accountable, and it is time out for that. And I got to say this. Again, I call for Robert Jones to be fired. He should be fired. And the reason why he should be fired, because he give, what's his name, Rochester Anderson.
Oh, Detective Rochester Anderson.
I mean, give them anytime they go there and want to arrest someone, they give them a warrant too. Like what just happened to Willie Ruffin.
But guess what, though? When they went to their house, they didn't have no warrant.
I know, and that's right. Tell the people about that.
They didn't even have a warrant. As a matter of fact, one of the officers seen on another camera trying to snatch one of the camera down from the guy's house. And then when they get him down at the jail, they charged them with contempt of court. They was being held up there at Kemper. MPD taking him to Kemper and held all three on contempt of court now. They didn't know they were being charged with hindering prosecution until the next day.
And isn't it something about when they was arrested and when the warrant was signed and all that stuff was after the fact?
Well, after the fact.
After the fact.
They even snatched Fireplace, even snatched Willie Ruffin for cell phone. Now, if you charge him with hindering prosecution, why the hell y'all won't get that man his phone back? Why would you take his phone anyway? And then you gonna threaten this guy. If you don't give me the password to your phone, I'm taking you back to Kemper.
And how about I wouldn't have gave him nothing? He'd have had to take me back to Kemper, folks. But see, when you don't know your rights, and so like what happened to your brother. Your brother wasn't going. Tell him what happened to your brother. I mean, he wasn't going, but he knew his rights, and he did not, and they didn't do anything to him. Tell the people about that.
According to the live video my brother done him last night, his wife called the police on him or whatnot. Don't know why. But once the police got in there, they tried to get him to leave. Says, anywhere you can go. He said, yeah, I got plenty of houses I can go, but I'm not leaving because this is my house. And then that was a black officer. Then when the white officer come up asking what was going on, he like, I don't know what's going on. My wife called you. I didn't call y'all. Talk to her. So he going to ask my brother to cut his flashlight from his phone off. My brother said, I'm not going to cut my flashlight off. Y'all in my yard. Y'all at my house. I'm at home. And so the guy gonna tell my brother asked, is this illegal for me to have my light on? The cop gonna say it could be. Officer LaGore, you know you told a damn lie. It's not illegal for a citizen to have their light on you all the way y'all blind the fuck out of us with y'all.
And here's what I like to say to Willie Rush, and make sure we talk to him. I have his phone number too. He should press charges against Officer Firehouse because that's stealing.
Yeah,
he don't have a right to have his phone. That's
took his phone. I don't know why.
Based on the value of it, it could be a felony. Go and charge him with it. Officer Firehouse is the Mexican y'all see around the fireplace. Is it Fireplace? How you get a Fireplace? Is that his name or nickname?
That's his last name.
They need to check and see if he wanted in Mexico or something, because I tell you, that Fireplace is not a Mexican name, but he's Mexican. Am I right or wrong?
He look Hispanic, yeah.
He look Hispanic. I don't know what he is, folks. One thing I do know is that people like that need to take an interpersonal communication skills course, because they need to learn how to treat people. But Officer Fireplace, you need to give him his phone back. And again, I just got to touch upon that again. When Robert Jones was saying his job is a judge. If they don't, I mean, just because Pam Biddick and her husband come there and want to put a charge on someone, Robert Jones, judge, you're supposed to judge. You're supposed to be an impartial arbiter, and you're not doing that. Not to mention the things that he did that I've always talked about. It's time for him to go. Perseverance, you better do like Donald Trump do. You better start firing people. Oh, you going to wait till we fire you? We going to fire all of y'all in about, what, how many more months we got long?
We got into, well, we going to fire Percy ass in May.
Yeah.
Primary election.
Not just Percy, the rest of them too.
Well, they're going to go automatic.
Yeah.
They're going to go automatic.
and you know, a lot of you out there talking about running for mayor and everything. And I want to encourage anybody that think they're qualified for office to run. However, if you've been in the system all this time and have not done anything but enable this administration, you should do. I got to tell you about it. Folks, y'all seen that picture? Do you know I sent that picture to Fannie Johnson? I sent it to Fannie Mae Johnson, and I sent it to Weston Linderman. And guess what Weston did? Weston said, wow, did Meridian Police Department do this? He said, where did this happen? I said, Meridian. He said, MPD? I said, yes. He said, I'm going to investigate. Okay, now another friend of mine's named Marie Franklin, Marie sent it to Dwayne Davis and Kim Bernie Houston. Now, I got to say this about Kim. Now, I don't know, but I think Kim did respond, but she responded, in other words, taken up. Now, I'm going to say this. Now, somebody, I think you told me this, Lo, where somebody told me, I don't know whether Lo or somebody, that one of the things that was said about Devon Hart is that when he escaped. Once they brought him back from camp and everything, he actually escaped because they didn't lock the door, so he left. And they were really angry about that. And so they claimed that they found him in an abandoned apartment up there by that little, I think that's Lee's Donut. They found him in an apartment, folks. Now, most apartment ceiling is only 8 feet high. You know, this is high here. But, folks, I just don't see how that's possible, though. How can a person hang themselves in an apartment? You got to be able to tie the rope to something.
What did he use to hang himself with? Yeah,
that's what I want to know, folks. But here the thing of it is that they found him, but they kept the body about 2-3 weeks before they released it. The funeral home just not getting the body, about 3 or 4 days ago?
It's been that many days ago.
Yeah.
Probably about 3 days ago.
Yeah, they just getting the body. And folks, that's really, really bad. So I smell a rat. There's a rat somewhere. How is it he hang himself? How is that if somebody had the kind of attitude that they'll beat him like that? What do you think they happened to him when they found him? You know, I talked about Tony being pulled over by Rochester Anderson. Tell me you were speeding. You ought to quit lying. See, you got officers that lie. Just tell the ladies, hey, we looking for somebody to just escape. We, we just wanted to check. Is it okay if we look in your vehicle? What's wrong with telling the truth? If there's a person to lie, they'll steal. If they'll steal, they'll cheat.
What time of night that was they pulled over?
It had to be like round about this time. Or maybe not so dark because I don't think they had the time hadn't changed.
Because he escaped early that day.
Yeah.
Doing court now.
Well, Tony, put it on your Tony's listener. She'll tell you about what time it was.
Doing court.
And guess what? She said she would not stop.
They didn't realize he was gone till hours later.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how about she drove all the way from the old mall to stop sign, I guess. And she went all the way to South Washington. She would not stop because the last time she stopped, it ended up costing her like $400 to get her car. And that's another thing. They got such a racket going with this Meridian Police Department. They do what they want to do now.
You know what? They done pulled over several cars tonight, right after that shooting. Rochester Anderson keep coming on the radio, constantly calling Lewis Raker Company. They got some type of Ponzi scheme going with Lewis Raker Company. Hell, you got Sharon Grace that pulled vehicles too. You have the board. Why they keep calling Lewis Raker Company?
You got Lee's Body Shop.
Rochester Anderson keep calling Lewis Raker Company.
Yeah, and they shouldn't really. I don't think the police officers should call it. I think that they should allow for the people to call. Most everybody got a cell phone now. They can call a family. They should be able to call a family member, anybody. They should not put an undue burden on the family. That ain't stuff against the law.
See, what I'm saying is when someone is involved in some type of crime, they would normally call the record company, especially if they think the vehicle's involved in it. The thing is, why in the hell they constantly call Lewis Record Company?
Yeah.
And you got all the other record companies, just like last week.
And you got Wild Bill right next door here.
2 days in a row, I hear Detective Anderson. He don't stand no more than 3 foot tall. He come across the radio. Y'all get to my office right now. This is the way he talking to the officer now. And the very next day, telling them to be quiet, listen to the description. And so the officer giving them the description, he come back and say, did you hear that? Did you copy that traffic? This is the way he talked to the officer.
He has an inferiority complex because he's so short and so small. He's a really small man. The gun is almost as big as he is. He's a real small man and appear to have an inferiority complex.
I just can't believe the way he acts.
Yeah. Hey, didn't he call somebody to get fired too recently?
I heard he called somebody to get demoted.
Yeah, demoted.
But here's the thing. He grew up right up the street, right up the street from me. And this dude, I would have thought this dude would turn out the way that he is.
Yeah.
You get some of these Negroes, you ain't got to give them a raise. Just give them a title. It'll go to their head. Because he most definitely don't went to Rochester head.
Yeah, it would. Folks, I want to say this, that I did talk about Emily Murphy, who's the head of the GSA, and that's something dealing with the government, whatever administration, where they the Biden campaign is able to get funds, office space, access to email to the different department heads. Once they certified the election in Pennsylvania and Michigan was awarded to Joe Biden Jr., then Emily Murphy came out and sent him a long letter, and she had to really, because they was talking about bringing her before Congress. And actually, in my opinion, actually she would have been breaking the law. Yeah, and she done lost her job. A lot of them looking for their job now. And folks, those of you out there that are sending money to Donald Trump, read the fine print, because the fine print in one place says that he get to keep 65% of it and do what he wants to with it. On another website on Make America Great, where he's still asking for money to defend the campaign that was stolen, 75% of the thing. Dice, I ain't trying to start now, but I got to ask you one question. And the question I want to ask you is that when Donald Trump disenfranchised, you were one of the people saying that Donald Trump should have his day in court. And even Rush Limbaugh came out against him and saying that you're talking about how they're going to have all this evidence of mass voters fraud, but then when they get to court, they didn't have anything. And they say it was embarrassing. But here's what I want to say to you, black man. I want to say, as a black man, how is it that Donald Trump did not attack any cities other than majority black cities, and said Democratic stronghold, which was code words for black, another way of disenfranchising black folks, and everybody basically admitted that. I just want to know, do you still feel the same way you felt the first time?
Most definitely do. And the reason you feel that way is because you're equating black people with Democrats. So that's why you kind of taking that way. Yeah, most definitely. And I think also with the news that you're looking at, I'm getting a whole nother story from the news sources I'm looking at. So.
Yeah, one thing that we do know is that Joe Biden Jr. is the president-elect. We do know that, so I don't know what your news source is telling you, and I got to tell you this, I agree with you. But so is Donald Trump looking at it like I look at it. The majority of you out there look at it like I look at it. All the other news sources look at it like I look at it. When you talk about Democratic stronghold, you're talking about black folks, because traditionally that's what we do. Basically, I'm talking about lockstep, and I imagine, I do admit that they do take, they knock us around, but they don't knock us around. I mean, the blatant, I mean, they just made up things. I mean, they were going to court getting embarrassed. They filed over 40 lawsuits, almost all of them dismissed. They did not bring up one shred of evidence. And the individuals that did it were white folks that did something. I think one person tried to vote twice, and it was a white person, not black people. But they talking about, all the cities in the U.S., they pick Atlanta, they pick Detroit, they pick Milwaukee, and they pick, what's the other place they pick?
Wasn't it Arizona?
No. We talking about the 4 cities they pick. Talk to them a minute. Oh, here it is: Philadelphia, Detroit, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. Those are, I'm talking about majority. I'm more black than Maria, Mississippi is. Those cities. And they didn't file a lawsuit anywhere else. You know what Donald Trump was planning on? He was planning on those Republicans throwing out this whole thing. That's what he was planning on. He was planning on them to file lockstep in with like they've been doing all the time.
Because there was some part in Detroit that he only wanted
Davis County.
And that was majority Republican area. But the black folk area, he wanted them.
Yeah, he wanted them, yeah, that's right. Davis County is the one he wanted thrown out. That's Detroit, mostly Detroit. That county there, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I just say this, bro. I say, let's keep looking at it. And I believe that, I don't care if it's years from now, you're going to look back at the information that I'm putting out there and you're going to say we got played. It's coming. Just remember I told you.
And I don't say that. I mean, because the person that's over the Pentagon is black. Then you got a Hispanic over the Homeland Security. You got females that are over the CIA. I mean, one thing I can say, he's walking the walk that he talked. He's actually doing that. And guess what they said? America is back. I think that's what they said. 3 words Biden said, and I agree. Because we could not let this continue on, because had we let it continue on, and we're going to take a break in a minute, had we let this continue on, we wouldn't have been a democracy, say 4 years from now. And then the next person would have came in, and that Trumpism will have lasted and lasted, but it's over. It's like, in my opinion, Donald Trump will go on and probably end up going to jail in New York or somewhere. I think that he'll probably pardon himself and his family.
I believe that's the reason why he started firing people in his cabinet after he lost the re-election.
The smartest thing would be for him to resign and let Pence pardon him, because him pardoning himself, it says that he has the power to grant pardon instead of pardon yourself. And so you got to look at the word. And so I think that's what Nixon did. He resigned and Spyro T. Agnew pardoned him. And of course, he ended up losing his job. And of course, and they knew that. They just playing, in my opinion. And so I understand what you mean when you said played, because Nixon played us back in the 70s. When he resigned, Spyro T. Agnew pardoned him because he had committed federal crimes. Of course, Spyro T. Agnew had also committed crimes, and they knew that. But they wanted him to be able to pardon President Nixon, and then he resigned in lieu of not being prosecuted in Gerald Ford. That's how Gerald Ford became president of the United States at that particular time. So I think when you talk about getting played, a lot of people play guitar better than me, but I play guitar a lot better than a lot of folks. So I think if Donald Trump had stayed, Lil Wayne got played. 50 Cent was smart, but Lil Wayne got played. He's in jail now.
Kanye West got played.
Yeah, Kanye West got played. And I got to say this to all of you out there that voted for Kanye West, including my grandson. Shame on you, grandson. You threw your vote away. I mean, there's no way he could be president of the United States. Kanye West, it's okay to vote. I know dice over the dice over there, jumped up and down. I got something like, hey, look, man. I got to tell my story the way I want to tell it. Go ahead, Dice.
Well, you got to take into consideration, first of all, you got people who are just like me. I'm not a lone ranger in this thing. So to say that what we're talking about is crazy. And
I didn't say that.
No. Yeah. I'm just saying in general. To say that what we're saying has no bearing or is just out in space would not be true. I'm looking for the words to say it right.
I just want to ask you one thing.
There's plenty of people.
Did you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump, and I have no problem with that.
I knew it.
Somebody call me.
I knew it. Because he was defending that corrupted crook entirely too hard. He was fighting for Trump entirely too hard. I told you that. I said that dude voted for Trump. I said, you got all the other candidates that ran for president. Why he only defending Trump? I said, he voted for Trump.
Oh, this is the big one, Mama. I'm coming to join you, Mama. I'm going to be coming with a friend of mine. We both just had a heart attack. Close the door.
I told you. I knew it.
All right, so let me say this. That's all in fun. That's cute.
Yeah.
But I think we're in trouble if we ever get to the point where we feel like any of us can't make our own choices.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I know y'all just playing. Yeah. But, I voted for him, and I'm proud of voting for him. I was not a necessarily what you would call a Trump supporter. But when I did that research 2-3 weeks ago so that we could have this little thing that we were doing here, what I found made it where I couldn't vote for Biden.
I got to ask you this. What you did is you judged Biden based on his past. You did not judge him based on his current. You have not told me anything presently that Biden done that would consider him a racist and a bigot and a misogynist. But we know all that about Donald Trump.
Then if he voted on Biden pass, he should have also voted on Trump pass also.
Well, let me
straighten you out. He wouldn't know if it look good.
I want to hear what Biden done now.
Well, let me straighten you out. I'm not voting on Biden's past. I'm voting on his past leading up to where we're at now. First of all, what I tried to look at with Biden was, what are black people voting for this man?
Can't you see right now?
Well, no.
We got our first. Look at Kamala Harris.
Okay, we
what that lady name Amara? What her name Amara? Whatever name that lady he had, and now she wrote a book talking about him. But she was his girl in them first year or first months or so. Y'all know what I'm talking about. One of y'all out there can give us the name of that black female.
Okay, so listen to this.
Okay, they said no sound.
Omarosa.
No sound.
Omarosa, yeah, Omarosa.
They say no
we got
sound.
You don't have sound because I fell out. I fainted in here. That's what happened. I fainted when I heard the dice voted for Donald Trump. I fell out. They had to come in here. two, but 911 had to come. The ambulance just left. Y'all didn't hear because Dice muted the sound over there, and then I think but anyway, my children, they picked me up off the floor. I mean, I had with the bogus.
So let me answer the Biden thing though.
Okay.
If you look at the debates and different talking points that he had throughout the election, him as well as Kamala Harris were asked about black people specifically, and their answers, well, I know hers specifically was, no, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. I can pull that up, show it to you right now.
So
when a person says that out of their mouth, you don't need to ask for anything else. They've already made it clear. Now let's go to Biden.
Okay.
With Biden, when I try to look at what black people are looking at with this, man, I'm like, y'all voting for somebody who basically has signs of dementia. When he does speak of us, he changes the subject to another group of people, minorities, Mexicans, immigrants. So why would we vote for him? So it was process of elimination for me.
Now tell me about what process of elimination did you use in order for Donald Trump to garner your vote?
I just told you the process of elimination.
No, you eliminated Biden.
Right, so that automatically eliminated Joe Biden, so we don't even have to worry with that no more. When I go to Trump, based on the research from wanting to have this back and forth with you guys, I say, wait a minute. The media played us. This is why I keep saying this. The media played us. We were innocent in it. But what they did was showed us what they wanted to show us. They chopped up this man's words. They would tell you he said something, and we would just run with it. We didn't do the research to see if he said it or didn't say it. He still has never said, put bleach in your system.
How much respect do you have for
yes,
a
he
liar?
did. Yes, he did.
Yes, he
did.
That's all. We ain't got to go there. We'll accept what he's saying.
Look, Kamala Harris never said she wasn't going to help the black people.
It doesn't matter. But then let's just, so much you can't judge a person by what they say, but go by what they do. What has Donald Trump done for us? And look at what Joseph Biden is doing for America right now. The fact when he became president, I'm thinking you got two black people on there, two black females. One is over the Pentagon, and the other one's over something else, I don't know what. And then you got a Hispanic over in Homeland Security.
Well, my concern is us, first and foremost. Yes, I'm American, African-American at that, but my concern is us. So, therefore, when I looked at it, what he did for us, if he did nothing else, he moved the head office of the HBCU into the White House.
I don't even know whether that's true or not. No. I want somebody out there. I want somebody out in TV land to answer that. We're gonna go to your next point.
Well, I mean that, of course, him extending the funding for the HBCUs. That's something more than Obama did.
It wasn't even Trump's idea. How much time
No. It's been passed on from president to president. I already agreed with you on that.
But we can go on there. Donald Trump has done so much, but we ain't going to talk. He's done so much
for the white folks.
He spoke out against. I mean, when one of us was beat in the streets, all that stuff don't matter to you. All those things that done happen to black people, black lives does not matter to Donald Trump.
Do you have to ask me that?
And
then look, he said you already know better, but apparently you don't because you voted for him.
How about we just go to break and then we come back? We're gonna read y'all comments. I want you guys.
I want to get my time on him.
After Lolo finished, we're going to break.
Kamala Harris never said she wasn't gonna do anything for the black folks, and Joe Biden does not have no dimension. Okay. If anybody has dimension, it's Trump. He can't remember all the lies he tells.
All right, so we're gonna do this for the people. When we get back, y'all are going to sit back and let me pull up 2 clips, and I'm going to prove my point.
No, we don't want to watch. We're going to listen to your vote, your comments. I want you people.
He want them edited stuff that somebody done made up.
No, I don't want the
actual debate.
When you have the proof, either y'all want it or you don't.
You didn't even listen to mine. You didn't even listen to the clip I sent you.
But
you have yet to open it up on your Facebook page.
How about we'll listen to
I ain't on Facebook
how about this? What we'll do? Right. We'll do that after we hear the comments.
Right.
We'll look at your clips in the end. But folks, right now I want you guys to respond to Dice assertions with facts, and then we're going to go to break. Dice, man, take us a break, and then we're coming back. And thank you for listening in. Happy Thanksgiving to you coming up. Folks, I want to thank you for the comments, and we're going to read your comments, but I want to tell you about the coronavirus. You know they have 3 vaccines now. it makes you kind of wonder. Now, you got to look at that. We'll say somewhere around 12 million or more Americans have been infected with the coronavirus, but only 257,000 folks have died from it. And what I point out, if you was to look at that's almost immeasurable. But let's just go a little step further than that. Now, it's still more people who have died from the coronavirus if you put all the other, say, cigarette smoking, accidental deaths and all that. More people have died from that, but the coronavirus have infected more people. Never have vaccines moved so fast. You have Pfizer has a vaccine. You have Moderna has a vaccine that's 95% effective, both Pfizer and Moderna. Then you have AstraZeneca just came out with one, and it's 90% effective. Now, you have to have 2 doses. In Moderna's, you have to have a half dose and then a booster 3 weeks later, a full dose. The other place you have to have a full dose, say about 28 days apart or something like that. That's Pfizer, and then AstraZeneca a month later, you have to get another dose. But I gotta say this, but you can keep theirs in the refrigerator. That's AstraZeneca. Pfizer has to be like minus 95 degrees temperature. You got to keep it at that. And Moderna's, I think, is the hospitals already have freezers they can keep in where they keep regular medicine in. But folks, I gotta look at this. Man, y'all gotta think now. I'm finna think outside of the box, like the Dyke man say. And I'm saying this is that what if this whole thing is designed to make a lot of people very, very wealthy? Now, AstraZeneca, they just one dose is $2.50, but Pfizer, one dose is $20 to $25. That's Moderna's is $15 to $25, and Pfizer's is $20 per dose. Do you realize the money that these people is going to be way up in the billions of dollars just in the U.S. alone? We talking about worldwide. What if, say, 4 or 5 people got together and they plan this thing? Let's scare the hell out of everybody. Let's shut the economy down. It's going to make things better, because once you shut the world down, it's not, the ozone layer get to come back somewhat, and it did. But you got to look at this, folks. Never have anyone, you done had polio, you done had all kind of illness, and you still don't have a cure to the flu. You have a vaccine that you take, but it keep mutating. So how were they able to come up with this vaccine in less than 6 months, in less than a year? Folks, you got to say that somebody somewhere had to plan all this. If you look at it, you don't see people falling down, dying or anything like that, but you see government people. Again, we got to get special interest out of government. Until we get special interest out of government, we're going to continue to be manipulated. We're going to continue to go through these kind of things. And I have to say that, yeah, it has me somewhat concerned, because you look at it. But again, folks, I ain't seen nobody. My son, Phoenix Hope, had COVID. Wow, there's one person I know out of the, and then my brother David, his mother-in-law had it. And she's a part of the vulnerable population. She's 80-some years old. She's a diabetic and have heart problems, COPD. But she survived COVID. So what's really going on? It seemed like to me, boy, the rubber getting ready to meet the road. It seems like to me that this was whole designed to make a lot of people a whole lot of money. And that's about to happen. Dice, you seem to have something to say.
No, I'm waiting on you.
Okay, go ahead. Well, we're ready for them coming. Wait a minute, hold up. Lo, what you got to say about that?
I believe COVID is real.
I'm not saying it's not real. You didn't hear anything I said. I understand.
No, I heard exactly what you said.
Too bad you see what's going on.
No, I heard what you said.
Too bad what's going on.
I heard what you said too, Bill, but it's real though.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say you didn't say it.
Yeah.
I didn't say, but
Okay.
it's real.
I got to take a
had
look
family members that passed away from it, and I tell you.
Yeah, but
it's scary.
I have a family member. I know 2 people in my family died within the last year since COVID. That's my mom and my daughter. Now, one of them died from COVID. See, people dying. They dying anyway. You understand what I'm saying? But they get a whole lot of money if you die from COVID. If you go to the hospital for COVID, they get $1,000 a day while that person is there, extra money from the government.
You don't think it came from China?
We ain't talking. I don't care if it came from Two-Belt House. Two-Belt, y'all just started the coronavirus. What her name? What you call Mia? Mir. Did you start that COVID? But I believe Mir, my son, and his first cousin, I believe they started that COVID. But my point of it is really, I'm telling my story. My point of it really is, I didn't say it's not real. What I'm saying that you understand that it's like a cold. It's a mutation of the cold virus. So, And one thing that and they say it come from China, so we can say that you have COVID-1, COVID-2. They've been talking about COVID, folks. You can go back and look at some old movies from the 50s that they're talking about COVID or the coronavirus. So it ain't nothing that just not came about, but it's something that they kind of figure out how to make a lot of money off of. It's getting ready to make a lot of people very, very rich. Dice man, read those. Lo, you got something to say about
that? Why
that?
it's spreading so rapidly around the city though?
You got it.
No, hell no.
You got a dice.
I won't know if I did have it because
you don't understand my point. That's what they say, but you ain't seen it, have you?
What that?
Who you seen got it? Who you know got it?
I know a few people that have it.
A few? It's 37,000 people.
No, I know a few. I'm personally, I know.
You understand what I'm pointing out?
I get what you're
saying. You can't measure 3 or 4 people.
No, I'm saying.
Do you know 100 people that got it?
I probably know of 100 people. I'm talking personally. I'm talking
okay,
the people I know personally.
Well, how many people you know personally got it? Several, I know 2.
Several. As a matter of fact, a few of them passed away.
How many you know? I know a few that they say passed away, but I don't know that for sure since I'm not a scientist and I didn't look at it. If a person died from coronavirus, people, that's extra money that goes to somebody when they die of that. I'm telling you. So this thing is set up. If you have, look, now I'm finna make some of y'all mad out there, bro. Don't mean no disrespect. But in 325 BC, in what is it, Dice? They came up, Constantine came up, said, hey, we got too many books. We have too many religious books. We need to end. We ain't doing nothing. He said, come on now, y'all need to come up with one. I'm not gonna do it. He said, well, hell, I'll pay y'all $1,000 a page. They said, how much you gonna pay us a page? And so the point is, they use money in order to create one book. That's what y'all got, the Bible. They use money. They have always used money in order to manipulate the people. And they're using money with this coronavirus. When they first shut the system down, they gave all of you a stimulus check. Tony out there waiting on her stimulus check right now. Two-Belt just called me, said he want his too. I just heard, what her name? Mia. Mia said, Mama need her stimulus check. Christmas coming up.
Yep.
So they use money, Lo. They use money to give you numbers. Again, I got to point to Dice, the media. The media tell you a story and you believe it. How about, again, you got to do your own research. You got to. Go ahead, Dice. Read those comments.
Okay. Got Mississippi B-Mac says, what's up, Gray?
What's up, B-Mac? I met B-Mac. B-Mac cool as fuck, man. Oh, shit. I'm trying not to curse.
All right, let me see. Let's go past the ones in the can't hear.
Wait a minute, then you said something about B-Mac was, didn't B-Mac leave a comment about he agreed with you? Okay, go ahead. Remember. No, folks, Lo over here reading her phone. Go ahead, that's all right. Go ahead, Lo. We love y'all. We appreciate you guys listening in too.
Okay, let me get there. I'm coming. Okay, all gas, no brakes. 81 says, good evening, y'all.
What up?
This shooting is so ridiculous.
You got that right.
Yeah, it is. And you know what's bad about it, Lo? It's our children that's killing each other and shooting each other. It's not our children. Our children are not being educated properly. They're not getting the proper instructions at home, folks. We got to do more. I can't raise your children for you, but I can try to set a good example. I can try to make it so they don't hear the wrong thing from me. But it's up to us. And a lot of our children out there listening to the rap music, and I ain't putting it down because I listen to it too sometimes. But we got to be able to differentiate between entertainment and actual facts and actual reality.
Okay, Mississippi B-Mac says, take that Ole Miss off and throw that Bama shirt on. Roll Tide.
Hey, I'm actually, I graduated from UAB, and I agree with you, Roll Tide, but my brother's a diehard Auburn fan, and he pointed out to me that, so I got to say this, Mississippi B-Mac, keep on listening, reaching out with Eddie, but, whoop, whoop.
All right, Louise Jones says Roll Tide.
Where you go?
I like Alabama too.
Yolanda Smith says, oh my God. And she's talking about that
picture.
The photo.
Oh yeah, and that is bad.
Okay, Mississippi B Mac also says, I believe fireplace is Native American.
That's about right. How does a Native American get named like Fireplace and Wild Horse and Owl Skin and all that kind of stuff? Fireplace probably, he just needs to be trained. He needs training, that's all.
right, Thais E says, good evening, everyone. I'm late,
What up, Ty?
but here.
Hey, Ty.
So, Thais. Patricia Allen says, hello, you all. I haven't been tuning in due to work, but I know y'all are
Doing a job.
all doing a job. Oh, you reading that too.
Yeah.
What up, Pat?
What's up, Pat? Lord, that ain't just your sister now. That's my sister too now.
Okay. B-Mac says, Mississippi B-Mac says, I hear tell Al Willis is running for Ward 5 Council. Your thoughts?
Here's what I say about that. I want to encourage Al Willis to run for Ward 5 Council because really what we need something different. Now, I'm told that he's a Republican, so Lo, you can get in on this. And I'm a Democrat, so I'm going to support a Democratic ticket. And so if a Democrat run, that's what we're going to be going with because we're not going to deviate, Al. I got to say this. Now, I don't know what you're going to run as, but I know that Al was removed from the Civil Service Board because he would not go along to get along with Percy. So that's a good sign in itself.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Al. All right, Felicia Brown says, hello, Eddie, Lolo, and Dice Man. Happy Thanksgiving to you all.
What up, Miss Brown?
Thank you.
Hey, Fee, same.
Louise Jones says, happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Jones. Tony Owen says, I text you that night, Lolo. Remember I sent you the shoes?
Oh, my God. Sure did. She sure did. She sure did.
Patricia Allen says, y'all are so hilarious. Thanks for keeping the people informed and making the show funny as well. Y'all got my attention. Oh, man.
I know I'm going to go back and watch it. Especially, I got to see how it was my fainting. My fainting was real now. Don't y'all quit playing with me. I really fainted. No, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, Felicia Brown says, he have to realize he is not in high school no more because he was the drill team sergeant when we was in high school. Not sure who she's referring to with that.
She's talking about Rochester Anderson.
Oh, okay.
He was in ROTC.
Okay. I think that he has some issues that he hadn't dealt with because he feared to walk around with a chip on his shoulder all the time. What makes you bad, Rochester Anderson, Detective Anderson, is not the badge and the gun you wear, but because you wear that badge and the gun, you have an oath of office that you're supposed to uphold. And I know factually that you have not done that.
Okay, Patricia Allen says, I'm agreeing with Dice because I'm not going to let you and Lolo gang up on Dice. LOL.
What we gonna do with Pat? What we gonna do with her?
I'm going to catch him.
Appreciate you, Trish.
Well, I'm not let her keep me here for a weekend. And my two boys. You gonna keep the three. We gonna call it one queen and the two kings. You gonna have to keep them for a weekend behind that, Pat.
Trish always been my buddy. Anyway, Joanne Holt says Donald Trump saying that the election might be stolen or is stolen. Why did he not say that when him and Hillary Clinton was running for office? Who stole the election then? And
the numbers were smaller, a whole lot smaller. Very good. And again, folks, y'all make sure y'all go down there and get some of that food. And they got gas and everything else down there. At Nick said number 2. We're going to change that name. We're going to change it. Reaching Out with Eddie. Come on, reach out and get what you want. Come in there and get it. We're going to call it Reaching Out with Joanne or Reaching In with Joanne. Come on in and get it.
They probably want to know where the store is. It's the old Dixie store there on 8th Street.
Yeah.
That's the new location, convenience store.
It's the last one on 8th Street before you get to the Temple Theater on the left-hand side, going toward the Temple.
Okay, Sweetie McNeil says, WTF. We know what that means.
Okay.
Okay. Tony Owens is laughing. Mississippi B-Mac says, my man. Ha, 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 ha.
No, I met B-Mac. He cool. He's real. Man, he goes there. B-Mac goes to Joanne's store and buy food, you know. Mm-hmm. He has his own record service. Mm-hmm. I saw that. Something he does. I thought it was a record. It could be something else. But anyway, let us know what it is that you do, Mississippi B-Mac. But he's a white guy.
He need to tell the City of Meridian when they having these people cars being in crimes, either wreck and they need a record. Because they supposed to rotate around. They supposed to rotate through the record company.
And they're not
doing
that.
They calling little record company.
But they getting kickbacks, and we say kickbacks. That's right.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Sweetie McNeil says, "Damn, I know he lying." She must be talking about me.
Yeah.
She got to be
Not
talking
lying,
about
baby.
you. Yes, he is.
Not lying, baby.
No, he don't lie. He ain't quick to lie. He has his own. What makes me respect him so much is that he has his own opinion about things, and he does a lot of thinking outside of the box.
Thank you. Mississippi B Mac says, "Get him, Dice." That's
B
right.
Mac,
I got him, bruh, and you still cool. He finna try and
Yeah.
take them points back. You
I
still
can't
cool.
take him back because you still cool. He is. I can't take him back.
Okay.
We know how you voted.
All right. All gas, no brakes. 81 says Dice voted for Trump.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got a couple of people laughing. Louise Jones laughing. Rashay Adams.
Oh, they laughing because I hit the floor. My heart attack.
Right. They
What are y'all
laughing
laughing? I'm still having chest pains behind that.
All right. And Mississippi B Mac says policy over party.
But I guarantee you always vote Republican.
What about it, B Mac? Have you ever voted for a Democrat?
Okay. Sweetie McNeil says it's the vote for Trump for me. Okay, so maybe she was talking about me.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
No, she talking about you.
She said it was a vote for Trump for her.
No, she said it's the vote for Trump for me.
Oh, okay. It's the vote that got her, in other words.
Oh, okay.
I did it. I started having chest pain again, sweetie. Come on, don't do me like that. Tool belt, you know I got a bad heart.
Okay, all gas, no break. 81 says, but you voted for a narcissist white supremacist. Okay, well, I can answer that by saying I did not find that. I did not find a white supremacist. Narcissist, maybe so. There's a lot of people, especially famous people, that are narcissists, and you'll find that out. Okay.
Boy, that's why Dice, man, you too cool, man. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have
But
to.
we ain't talking about a lot of people though. We talking about Trump. Don't talk about the other people. No, we talking about Trump.
Yeah. Go ahead, low. That was checkmate, Dice.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll get my lick back after this. All right. Bubba says, now go look at what they are doing in Georgia to keep out the black vote for the runoff in January. They are trying to require a person to have a car registered in their name.
Wow. See that?
You know they got that runoff Senate election.
Yeah, that's voter suppression. Yeah, we're not going for that. We got to go help them out, Tool Belt.
Stacey Abrams, she'll get them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Got to go down a little bit. Y'all was on these comments today. Okay, Doris Payne said, we all have a little racism in our system, but Trump is beyond words, and he is a sore loser.
And I got to say this to, y'all know Doris Payne is? That's my sister. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Her name is Doris Holt Payne. She married Greg Payne, and that's her son and my sister Joanne are co-owners in that store down there that we're talking about. But I can just tell you this, is my sister is very, very strong, and she's smart. When they did the protest at Northwest, I mean, they were younger than us, but they're the ones that started from Northwest and marched to Meridian High. They told us about it because those folks panicked. And I can tell you that I came out of my classroom too, and we all marched. They went to the main office. I beat my sister home because when we got the 23rd, boy, I made that left and went toward Magnolia and went home. But I was glad to get out of home. But my sister always been proud to be a strong black woman. I'm proud to say that. Gee, sister, I love you, both of y'all.
Okay, Fred Welch says, good evening.
Well, Fred.
Fred, you must be just tuning in because you know you my boy and stuff, and I had a heart attack not too long ago when Dice told me he voted for Trump. My children had to run in here and get my Tool Belt was outside knocking on the door with his cane and his pistol, and Miss Tool Belt said, where you at? Y'all let me tell my story now. Tony, why you didn't come over here and I had a heart attack? She give me the blues every day. I almost be about to have a heart attack. But she's another strong black mother. She's young, and she's a single mother, and I'm very proud of her. And she's a victim of the system, and I hope that we can fix that come, we'll say June of next year. Next year we'll begin to fix things for not only Tony, a lot of people like her and like you and like me. because this system has not been fair for us. B Mac, we gonna need your help in this. Now, this all right?
Since you said policy and not parties.
Okay. All right. Elena Marie Davis says, "Good evening to you all."
Hey, Marie.
Hey there, Miss Davis. Me and her had a real good conversation about this whole thing the other day in the Sizzler, man.
Well, Miss Davis, I gotta say this.
Miss Davis, I bet he tricked you, didn't he?
Miss Davis, you better come here and get on our hot seat. Come on here, Miss Davis.
No, she's super cool, man.
She is?
Yeah.
I believe that.
Felicia Brown says, "I had COVID and stayed in the hospital for a week and like to die from it, but I am still here, thank God, back in October."
Glad you're still here.
I think Talisa Green, you know Talisa Green, right?
Yeah.
She just gotten over COVID.
Yeah,
She been down.
Yeah,
I think her daughter too,
I
wasn't it?
think she's still real sick because she have other issues like going on with
Underlying condition?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I hope she be okay too.
Okay. Penny Holt says, "Joe Biden do not have dementia. He has a stuttering problem." I can answer that by saying that was disproven, but okay.
But not by me.
No, it wasn't disproven.
And here's the thing I gotta say: if he had dementia, when they asked him a question, he was so spot on. He's I can't of all something he said, but he didn't think about it. But again, I don't think he has dementia, but everybody has a problem. Like me, you'll notice sometime when I'm thinking, because I'm thinking on the fly and I'm putting my thoughts together, and sometimes it might seem like I might have dementia or a stuttering problem, but it just shows that Biden, our president-elect Joseph Biden, has a very high degree of intelligence. He has a lot of thoughts and things in his mind. He lived a long time, and he's been very successful. And what I like about myself and our president-elect is that he metamorphosized. And I can tell you that I continue to learn. At my age, 67, I continue to learn and change how I do things.
You know, when some people get older, they do have a stuttering problem.
Yeah.
That's true. So ain't no doctor said he had dementia. Did you?
And
Did
we
you
already
research
know
that?
Donald Trump been to the hospital more this year than Joseph Biden.
And be around here walking like a turtle?
Okay. Louis Jones says, "There were 6 people had it, and I know personal, and they survived."
Yeah, and I appreciate that information. Again, it points to that something's going on with this. It does. It really does. That this whole thing is designed to make a lot of people very, very rich, and they'll pay us. And guess what? The money that they gave us and me, it'll go back to them. Mm-hmm. Man, everybody that got that $1,200 or $10,000, the money's gone. A lot of you out there don't even have any of that money left. How about this giving you an extra $600 a week on unemployment? I guarantee you, most of you out there don't have any of that money left, and Christmas is coming up. It's going back to Walmart and the Walton family and people that are very, very rich. And so what they're doing is enriching themselves by giving us things. We're going to go buy things that we think we need. And the money goes back to the system. So again, we're being manipulated by a lot of people. That's okay. I don't mind being delivered. Give me my stimulus check. 2 belts that he won't, he is too.
All right. Doris Payne says, "Everything is money."
Yeah.
Dennis Allen says, "The rich elites that control the world banks created the COVID-19 madness, not China, for more riches." For more riches. I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
Dennis Allen, the last time you and I talked, I didn't agree with what you said, and I hung the phone up in your face, but I'm going to agree with you this time.
And guess what?
Go ahead.
He said I was harsh on dice.
All right.
Dennis did.
Really?
Do you think we need to get him over here?
I started knocking him in the eye.
You should have, Lo. Hit him with a stick or something.
You was rude to Dice. You know what he said?
Dice, what did you say about that?
Well, I mean, I didn't take it that way, but I'm going to go back and look at the tape then. Yeah, I really appreciate that, though. Okay, Mississippi Max says commercial waste. Okay, I'm not sure what that's referring to.
Oh, that's what he does.
Okay.
Yeah, he haul commercial waste. He's not a record. Yeah, that's right. That's what I seen that truck back. Yeah.
Gotcha. Mississippi Mac also says, "Nope, I voted for Obama over Mitt Romney."
I told you he was cool. The man is cool. Y'all got to meet Mississippi B Mac.
Okay, and one more from Mississippi B Max says, "Oh, and I voted for Percy the first time." So
I did too the first time.
I didn't.
But the second time you did, boy.
I didn't.
The second time you did. You helped him the second time, but you didn't vote for him.
The third time I helped him.
Oh, okay.
See, the first time he lost against Sherry Berry.
Okay, well,
the second time he won.
I think B Mac mean the second time, and I voted for him the second time. The first time I didn't either. But the second time I did, and the third time I didn't. The fourth time's a charm.
Okay, and last but not least, Doris Payne says, "Thank you, brother."
Oh yeah, folks. I gotta say this is that last Sunday this Sunday my brother sung in church and he sang so good, and I can tell you last Sunday he wasn't taking his meds right. My brother's a diabetic. And I can tell you that the ambulance had to come and get him, and he's okay, and I'm glad of that. But if y'all, he's cool. My brother, I call him Tube Belt because he can fix anything. That rascal can fix anything, and he ain't got nothing but a tube, a hammer, a skill saw, which he cut everything with. That's metal, brick, pipe with the same blade. I'm telling Tube Belt. He even uncut his leg before using that skill saw. Man, he got a bad scar on his leg where he cut himself using that. That was a long time ago before he learned any of the Tube Belt can do it behind. Y'all seen Fred Sanford fight? Tube Belt can cut with that saw all kind of way. But all he had was like a tape measure, a saw, and a hammer. He gone. And he don't read blueprints and he don't draw them. But I promise you, tell him what you want, boy, he'll build it as if he read a blueprint. So I call him Tube Belt.
Can he read? But he know how to read a blueprint, right? You say he don't read them, but do he know how to read one?
Too bad she don't let me tell my story. I ain't gonna admit that over there. If y'all go back and listen, I probably no. He don't read blueprints. Okay. He don't read blueprint. But guess what though? If he wanted to, he could. I'm just telling you the truth because he go to Tube Belt. Tube Belt go to YouTube.
But there ain't nothing wrong with it though. Because I know some people know how to play piano. They don't look at the little melody. They play by ear.
Yeah, that's right. But what he does do, and that's kind of like what he does, but he can. But what he did, he went to YouTube and he repaired his truck. All he had to do was paint it. I mean, everything he do, and his daughter's the same way. She's a nurse, and but anyway, anything you want to say to the people?
No, I'm good.
I want to say this. You got to tell them happy Thanksgiving.
We ain't gonna be here Thursday, so y'all, for the one that believe in celebrating the holiday, y'all do what y'all do. Stay safe. Stay from downtown because they been shooting. They were shooting down there this weekend, right in front of the police officer. The officer right there where they were shooting at. Didn't even get out and collect no bullet shell casing or nothing. Didn't hear anything about it on the news.
They're not going to tell you about it because they want you to think that the city is safe, and it's not.
It's dangerous.
It's very, very dangerous. It is. My daughter she was at in Davis Court when they did all the shooting, and I happened to be going there, and I actually video. You can tell I can't video too good, but hear my story, and I'm finna tell it. Y'all better let me tell my story. I was going to pick my daughter up, and then I heard shooting and everything. I'm so brave and everything. I got out and started videoing, and I started ducking bullets and everything. So when you see it going down to the street, I was ducking the bullets. Now, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Dice, anything you want to say to the folks?
Yeah. Clear my throat.
Uh-oh.
Right, no, I'm just playing.
You got a few comments on that.
Yeah, I see. Oh, you thought I wasn't going to read it? I see a good childhood friend of mine, Kevin Boyd, put in the comments. He said, if you voted for Trump, then I guess you will vote for Percy. Well,
you're right, Mr. Boyd.
Let her get finished. Okay. Yeah, I have voted for Percy before, but the thing with that, Kevin, is all you got to do is go look for yourself, bro. Me and you know each other. Go check for yourself. And I say this to the people who put comments under the other video. Feel free to leave me any comments, ask me any questions. I'm going to answer it. And if you ask me something specific, I'm going to give you the proof. Now, once I give it to you, it's up to you what you do with it. But I'm not running from any of that. Bring it on, because I want you to have that information. Now, one more thing before we go. We talked during the break, and are we going to do this next week or not?
We don't know.
Because y'all said it.
Well, I think that Dice want to show 2 videos, so we got to let him have, you know, let him bring the video.
Right.
Do you need TC or Tavio to come here with you when you show those videos?
No.
Okay, we gonna bring the pain too. Well, we ain't gonna play with him. We played with him the last time. Dennis, you might not even want to watch it when we come back a week from today, cause I promise we gonna bring the pain. Hey, we gonna bring the pain with him.
Can we see the video before next week's show?
You already got everything. I gave it to you.
Oh, he's like the same dude. Oh Lord.
No, I'm not talking about the same dude.
This is what we want you to do. Put the 2 videos down there, not only for us to see, but for you to see it. Put them down there that you want us to see. And I agree with Dice. I go along with that, and I'm sure Loda too. Ask us anything you want to, and I will. I read those comments, and we will answer your questions. Yeah, we'll answer. We don't mind. And so just want to thank you guys for listening in. And people, I got to tell you this. It's a lot of things going on in this city here. It really is. And Lo knows that, and I know that. And some of you out there know the things that are going on in this city. And I want to tell all of you out there that know things or might have some things that dealing with this city, that if you have factual information, that you can get it to us and we'll get it to the right people, so that this city, what we want is this city to be a nice and a viable place for everybody. We don't want it to be a certified retirement community. We don't want to be a place where there's rampant shooting in any of the neighborhoods. We don't want it where somebody can go to a hotel and somebody can come in and kill them. We don't want any of those things. We don't want a failing school system. We want those buildings out there, those empty places out there in Bonita Lakes Mall. We want those places to be filled with stores, because we want this community to be a safe, viable place for everybody, white folks and black folks. It's sad that this administration plays us against each other. B-Mac is a white man, and I'm telling you, I like this guy. Time I met him, I liked him. And you meet people like that, but then you find some people that you don't like. Now, Percy is a likable person, but he's not sincere. I can say this about Mississippi B-Mac. He's very sincere. He's going to tell you how he feels, just like Dice, just like Lo, just like myself. Very sincere people. You know that when you meet them. When you meet Percy Bland, you know that he's not sincere. I want to encourage all of you to be safe out there. Hey, and put your mask on. Whatever it is to make you feel safe, go ahead, Lo.
You know, Leanne Compton passed away.
Leanne Key.
Leanne Key.
Yeah, Leanne Key. She sure did, and my condolences to the Key family and her husband.
Passed away on her husband's birthday.
And that's got to be horrible for him. And she really fought a battle a long time. And she was one of the attorneys with Greg Gillen. Mm-hmm. She was his last attorney. She objected to all those things that they were doing illegally. Mm-hmm. And so she really fought for him, but that corrupt judge, and the judge, yes, she was, and she still went there. And how about she objected to the things that Lawrence Primo, Judge Larry Primo did? They were illegal. She objected to it, but he still did it. And that's what he been doing to Greg Gillen. I just hope that Greg can get justice. And I think he'll do that by hiring another attorney and a change of venue. He got to get it out of Lauderdale County, because I don't trust really. I'm just got to be candid now. If you're in Lauderdale County with a case and they got it in for you, they going to get you. They'll use the system against you, and that's what I want to say. And the state of Mississippi, when a judge can do something illegal and you don't do anything about it, then the problem is not so much with that judge. It's with the whole state of Mississippi, because there ain't no sense in having a governing body or anything like that. And like in the governing authority with Kim and all of them. Is there some more comments? Oh, we gonna read them comments.
I don't know what he meant though. The last comment.
Oh, I done put him down. That's all right. I give him.
Lo can read it. What did he say, Lo?
He said, make sure you come with an open mind. I don't know what Big Mac meant by that.
No, he's talking about, oh, yeah, we'll come with an open mind. We will. Meaning that if a person can present facts. Now, I got to tell you, now, I'm still my mother's child. I'm dogmatic at times. I try to be pragmatic. I try to be optimistic. And I'm always optimistic. But sometimes I'm just not going to bend. I'm not going to bend. There's nothing going to make me change how I vote. And I'm sure Dice feel the same way. I'm sure Lo feel the same way. It ain't nothing Dice can say. I can agree with what he showed me, but I promise you, whatever he bring me, I'm going to have something, factual information, to delineate that. I just am. So I need you out there. I'm going to do my research. Dice man need to be prepared. That's all. Okay, you just can't show them videos. You better go get some facts yourself and then look at everything.
Can Gilligan sue Joe Primo? Can he sue him?
by him being a judge and anybody, even persons indemnified, meaning that the city of Meridian have insurance, but the insurance will go up. They are faced with so many lawsuits that, and they're fighting them, and they really need to just go ahead on and settle these lawsuits. But basically, once we get this administration gone, I think that the insurance will go down. The premium got to be pretty high because they're faced with so many lawsuits that they're gonna have to settle.
Because of Percy.
Yeah, he can be sued in his official capacity. He can be sued, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Greg Gillen is suing not only him, Judge Robert Jones for illegally placing his name on the NCIC, and Primo for signing that order. I think they're being sued in Missouri. Yeah, that's where I think up in around Carrs Junction, Missouri, somewhere, whatever county that is.
I told Primo was going to resign soon. Why the hell his ass ain't gone already?
Yeah, and here's what I don't like about you lawyers out there is that you guys don't run against these judges. You need to start, nobody should get a free pass. Somebody need to run, whoever's running for office low, I just think that somebody should run against them. All the time, at least make them spend money, make them hold them accountable. We're not holding them accountable, and then they start thinking they really are God, and they're not. They think that that's their place. You know, we got to show Percy that we're no longer being taken for granted, and that we can come together as one people. You can fool some of the people sometimes, but not all the people all the time. It's up to us to make a real difference in this. Y'all have a safe and happy holidays. Anything, Lo?
I'm good.
Dice? Hey, look here, y'all have a safe and happy holiday. Two Bill, go build something. Y'all have a nice weekend. Dice Man, take us home. Be mad.